channel in coaching center. So today I'm going to explain your 12th standard physics first chapter, that is electric charges and fields, part 3 video. So last part 2 videos I explained about Coulomb's law and others law, and let us continue with the next topic of this chapter. So next is electric field lines. So it is a vector quantity, and it can be represented as we represent vector, and let us try to represent E due to the point charge pictorially. So like this it can be represented. Here you can see field of a point charge, and since the magnitude of the electric fields at the point decreases inversely as the square of the distance of the pointer from the charge, the vector gets shorter as one goes away from the origin, always pointing radially outward. In this figure, each arrow indicates the electric field. So these all arrow indicates the electric field, and the force acting on a unit positive charge placed at the tail of the arrow. So this is at the tail of the arrow, the unit is placed. And now the magnitude of the field is represented by the density of the field, and E is the stronger near E is stronger E is strong near the charge. So E is strong near the charge. So next here, so we draw the figure of plane of paper. So in 2 dimension, but we live in 3 dimension. So if one wishes to estimate the density of field lines, one has to consider the number of lines per unit cross section area that is perpendicular to the lines he has to measure, and he has to say. And since the electric field decreases at the square of the distance from the point charge, and the area encloses the charge increases, and the charge increases as the squares of the distance, the number of field lines crossing the enclosing areas remains constant. So this is the dependence of electric field strength on the distance. Here the diagram they have given. So to understand the dependency of the electric field lines on the area, or rather than the solid angle, we have to take, let us try to relate the area with a solid angle. So let us take a small element delta L, and delta L be placed at a distance r from a point O. Then the angle subtended by delta L at O we can write as delta theta is equal to delta L by R, and therefore we can write it as delta lambda is equal to delta S by R square, and also we can write it as delta delta ampere is r square 1 by delta ampere at P1. We can write like that only. Since n and common, the strength of the field clearly has 1 by r square is that field, and this term is somewhat misable, especially it is written in Faraday's called, so the Faraday's called this as line of force. So next, so let us know the field lines follow some important general properties. So what are the properties that field line follows is, the field line starts from positive charge and ends at the negative charge. So it starts from positive and end at the negative. And in charge free region, electric field lines can be taken to be continuous curves without any break. And two field lines can never cross each other. So two field lines can never cross each other. And electrostatic field lines do not form any closed loop. So they do not form any closed loop. So these are some important general properties. So they may ask for an exam, what are the important general properties of electric field line. So you have to write this. And next is the electric flux. So what is electric flux? So consider let us follow of a liquid with velocity v through a small flat surface ds. So in a direction normal to the surface, the rate of follow of liquid is given by the volume of crossing of area per unit. So VDS can be VDS, and represent the flux of liquid flowing across the plane. If the normal to the surface is not parallel to the direction of the flow of liquid, then makes an angle. So if it is not equal to the flow of liquid, but also it makes an angle theta with it, and the projected area of a plane is perpendicular to the velocity, it is perpendicular. So next here, dependency of flux on the inclination theta between E and N. So E is delta S cos theta. So therefore delta S cos theta when theta is equal to 90. So field lines will be parallel to delta S. So if we take theta is 90, then field lines will be parallel to delta S. So and the orientation of area elements and they are merely its magnitude is important in any context. So its magnitude is very much important. And in a stream, the amount of water flowing through a ring will naturally depends on how you hold the ring. So the amount of water flowing in the ring depends on how you hold the ring, how you hold the ring. It depends. And if you hold it normally to flow, maximum water will flow through it. And then if you hold it with some other water other orientation, this shows that an area element should be treated as a vector. So the area element should be we should take it as a vector. Next is we can define as delta theta is equal to E into delta S is equal to E into delta S by cos theta. We can write it as, and therefore the unit of electric flux is Nc minus to the Nc power minus 1 meter square. So therefore theta is equal to summation of E into a delta S we will get. So electric dipole. So the total charge of the electric dipole is obviously 0. So the total charge of electric dipole is obviously 0. So what is electric dipole means? The midpoint of the location of minus q and q is called as. So the midpoint that comes between minus q and q is called as electric dipole. And electric dipole is obviously, total charge of electric dipole will be obviously 0. And this does not mean that the field of electric dipole, the field will be 0, not 0, but total charges will be 0. So for the point of axis, to find that E minus Q is equal to minus Q by 4 pi E by E0 by R plus A whole square into P, we can put like this. And we can put E is equal to 4 QA by 4 pi E0 R square by into P. So for points on the equatorial plane, E square is EQ is equal to Q by 4 pi E0 into 1 by R square plus A square. So therefore we can put it as E is equal to 2Q by A by 4 pi E0 by R, permutative of the force direction. As you know, last video I explained this. E0 is, so we will put, and E is equal to minus P by 4 pi V E by R cube. So like this we will put, and the physical significance of the dipole. So therefore the dipole moment is 0, but CO2 and CH4 are of these types of molecules, and they develop as dipole moment when the electric field is applied. So they become dipole moment when the electric field is applied, and therefore they have a permanent electric dipole moment even in the absence of the electric field. Such thing is called as polar molecule. If they have permanent dipole moment even in the absence of electric field, then it is called as polar molecule. And also various materials give rise to interesting properties and important appliance in the presence of or absence of electric field. Various materials help them in presence or absence of electric field also to make a dipole. So this was your part 3 video. So okay friends, these are some sums by using that formula. E is equal to 2p by 4 pi v0 by r cube. Here we got no by here we got no here these formulas. By using this we have to solve that. So in the physics chapter there will be more formula and sums like that it will be. So you have to remember the formula, and you have to understand the question. So okay friends, like my video, comment on my video, and subscribe my channel in coaching center for more video. I will explain the next topic in my next video of this chapter. So this was your part 3 video of electric fields and charges and fields, part 3 video. So next to last part video I will explain the other left topics. So by that your next chapter electric charges and field will be finished. So okay friends, So let's meet you in my next video. So till then, take care, have a nice day. Bye my dear friends.